This episode starts with this man in a hood standing on top of this building. It then cuts to Goku running through the streets away from these red lasers that are shooting at him. Goku is running away from them. He's not fighting back, he's not flying, he's not using instant transmit. He's running. You haven't seen Goku run this fast since he had that race against Krillin. He's dodging these bullets and it turns out it's actually Frieza spaceships that are shooting at him. Inside these Frieza spaceships are Frieza and Cooler. Goku decides that instead of fighting back, he's gonna keep running. It then cuts to the Supreme Kai of Time and future Trunks. They're talking about how the universe is in danger. It always is in this series. Goku continues running down the street until at one point this laser from the ship cuts through a building, and since this takes place in different realities, whatever's happening on this version of Earth is happening on the real Earth. So you see the same building fall down in real time, and Goku is still running. Finally, he says to himself, I don't really understand what's happening, but it's time to get out of here, and he begins flying. He flies out of the city, and these two Frieza spaceships follow him. The chase then stops on the outskirts of the city, and out come Frieza and Cooler from their own little Frieza spaceships. Very enfranchised, they begin chasing Goku themselves using their own power, and they kick him right in the face, back down to the ground. Goku, even though he's in his black gi and he looks better than ever before, he is about to get 2v1 by Frieza and his brother. They charge him when all of a sudden, gravity just around them changes and they get slammed to the ground. Goku is shocked, he doesn't know where this came from, and then this guy comes out of the smoke with a halo around him, and this is a guy called Hearts, who was apparently in this series earlier on, and he was an enemy to Goku, but now this comes just in time because out of the smoke, Frieza and Cooler have ascended to golden forms. Cooler has his Meta Cooler golden form, which is, I think, new to this series, and Frieza's got his natural golden form. Cooler takes on this new guy, and obviously Goku fights Frieza. Frieza goes in for a massive punch, and Goku blocks it, and then he begins closing his eyes. He then summons this gigantic energy ball and throws it directly on top of Goku. However, keeping in touch with the main franchise, this doesn't affect Goku at all. This is light work for Goku. He comes out of the smoke and crater in Ultra Instinct, knees Frieza right in the face and then begins beating him down. Ultra Instinct Black Suit Goku? Tell me something that looks better than that. Goku's able to beat Frieza here in 1 or 2 hits, and that's kind of the entire fight done. Dragon Ball Heroes is really accelerating the pace of these fights. However, Frieza, while he's laying on the ground, this red Dragon Ball appears in the middle of his chest, and the same thing with Cooler. It makes them demonic. It makes their eyes go red. They then have this red aura around them. This is probably some Dragon Ball Heroes lore that I don't really understand. It does make them more evil, more powerful. At this point, who knows? But on top of a mountain stands another man who has the same hair as Goku, and a mask. This episode ends with Bardock standing on top of this mountain cliff holding one of these red Dragon Balls, and that's the end of Dragon Ball Heroes for this month. Or is it? I may have just made the biggest mistake of my life. This isn't Bardock, this is actually Goku Black with a mask. I'm just so used to seeing Bardock with a mask in this franchise that I just assumed it was Bardock, but in fact this is actually Goku Black. So disregard everything about Goku finally meeting his father, that's a real shame. But regardless of Bardock, Goku Black, Goten, that is this episode of Dragon Ball Heroes for this month.